And law is extremely important to make creative economy work. So I will be very quick because law has taught us to be quick and logical and very clear with what we want to say. So I'll start off with my presentation. I'm Anirban from India and have the honor to be the group presenter. So the first problem that we are discussing is that the goal we wanted to have is strong and efficient enforcement of intellectual property law. This is what we wanted to achieve under intellectual property law. Intellectual property law, I think you guys know, it's about protecting what we create. If you create an idea, it's your intellectual property. So our recommendation for the strong enforcement of intellectual property law is that the panel recommends formation of an independent institution for the timely monitoring of the enforcement of intellectual property laws at the domestic level. This commission may consist of 4 to 5 people, and this reports to the World Intellectual Property Organization, which is under WTO, about the enforcement of the IP standards of the country. IP, for your sake, is intellectual property. This body can also recommend steps to the domestic governments for the better enforcement of IP laws in the country. So just so that we know how the laws are monitored properly, we want an independent body which is unbiased to report to the World Forum that this is the state of intellectual property law enforcement in that particular country. The next thing that the next problem that we are going to discuss is okay. So we want the proper and uniform protection to intellectual property right holders in every country, because we know that countries have some international obligations towards the Berne Convention and, for instance, the TRIPS agreement, but it is also important that these obligations are uniformly made across the country. For instance, if you have registered your idea as a patent in Thailand, you should also have that protection in India and USA. So for that, we need uniform protection across the world. So this is what we recommend. We recommend the expediting of the process of the nationalization or incorporation of international obligations under treaties and conventions into domestic laws. There are monist countries and dualist countries. Monist countries are those which can just ratify a treaty by the president, it automatically becomes the law. For those countries, we recommend the speedy enforcement of these obligations. For dualist countries who need to make a domestic law, the panel recommends that the legislative bodies, the parliaments of those countries, enact enabling legislations for the incorporation of these obligations into domestic laws. The next problem that we want to discuss here is, so it is the promotion of awareness of intellectual property law among the stakeholders. So who are the stakeholders here? So for instance, one stakeholder is the public, the society. Another stakeholder is the right holder. Another stakeholder would be your government. And then you have your NGOs and international organizations. So among these different stakeholders, we want to promote awareness about intellectual property law, because if you don't know your rights, how will you claim them? So for that, we recommend the following steps. The government should produce information and educational videos that could be easily accessed by the public so that they can understand their intellectual property rights properly. So these videos will be easily accessible, so anyone can access across the country, online and through other mediums. And also, another innovative step which we want to take is that across the Asia region, we want that intellectual property law education should be inculcated into the school curriculum. So usually you see intellectual property law is taught to law students. But in this case, we want intellectual property rights at least. That you must know your rights, like you know your fundamental rights. Like that, you know your intellectual property rights at the school level. And the next problem that we wanted to deal with is the proper implementation of the international obligations. So now you already have the law, you already have created all the legal mechanism. But what is the use if it is not properly implemented? So for that, we recommend the formation of a system of economic sanctions by the World Intellectual Property Organization, which may include fines imposed on countries which violate their obligations under international intellectual property law. So for instance, If a country, despite signing the conventions, despite signing the treaty, is not respecting the intellectual property of other countries, then we will impose economic fines on them. As in this way, we will try to ensure that every country respects this international obligation. And the next problem that we want to deal with is the protection of local businesses based on indigenous products. So, Thailand has its own indigenous products. For instance, in Indonesia, in Bandung, Bandung is famous for its shoes. Similarly, India is famous for its yoga. So, these are your geographical indicators. Now, it's not that a Thai indigenous product should not be registered in Cambodia. It is a Thai product, so it has a geographical indicator. So we recommend the proper enforcement and respect for geographical indicators under international intellectual property law. So that basically means that when a product originates from Thailand or originates from Cambodia, no other country is able to take credit for that particular indigenous commodity. In this way, the local businesses are protected of their creative goods. And the next goal we had was the facilitation and simplification of the reporting of cyber security threats. We move on to the second theme we discussed. First, we discussed intellectual property law. Now we are inside cyber security. So in this theme, we say now we are moving towards a digital economy, right? Most of the creative economy we expect would be working online. So it is important to promote creative economy that we have a very strong cyber security protocol. So for that, we want the proper reporting of cybersecurity threats. So we recommend the development of applications, apps on computers, mobile phones, and other devices that will make the reporting of cybersecurity threats to your government easier. And the next problem under cybersecurity that we dealt with is the increasing of knowledge of essential aspects of cybersecurity among the cybersecurity staff. For instance, in the developing countries, it is often seen that because cybersecurity is such a delicate concept and such a delicate part of the law, it is seen that the staff of many countries don't know the international obligations and intellectual property rights. So we recommend that those developing countries should send their staff for training on cybersecurity to the developed countries for knowledge exchange. Now the next problem we've discussed is the faster transfer of cybersecurity technology to developing countries. Now I have a habit of always thinking about Africa at times. So for instance, you see England was industrialized centuries ago, but there are parts of Africa where industrialization hasn't even reached. There is a reason for that. It is difficult to transport such huge machinery to different parts of the world. But in this case, in the creative industry, thankfully we can transfer technologies online, and we can promote inclusive development across the world through creative economy. So for the first time in our lifetimes, we have an opportunity to promote inclusive development across the world. For that, we recommend the holding of annual conferences that would facilitate the signing of MOUs and agreements for the faster transfer of technologies across countries. Now we move on to the third thing we discussed. Intellectual property law we discussed, then we discussed cybersecurity. But what if your privacy, your basic right to privacy is not respected in your country? Then that's an entirely different problem. To ensure creative economy prospers, we need to ensure that the ideas you create, the geographical products that you create, they should be protected from hackers and illegitimate people who want to access and steal your ideas, right? So our goal was to increase the privacy of citizens at the national level. So the panel recommends that the national governments limit their intervention into their citizens' private data. Because your privacy is your very basic human right. It is protected by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and it is protected by other several conventions. So we recommend that governments limit their intervention, but there are exceptions. This is not an absolute right. In the interest of national security and criminal investigation, your country may have the exception of intervening in your privacy. But then it should be very limited, and it should not be arbitrary. Your privacy should be placed at the topmost apostle. The next problem we dealt with was the transnational pursuit of cybercrime offenders. So we have seen that cybercrime, suppose a person commits some financial offense online, an economic offense, by stealing suppose $10 million from your bank account online and then moving into another country. So your national police is not able to go to that country and seek that, pursue that criminal. For this, we want to ensure that mutual legal assistance is extended between countries so that these cybercrime offenders cannot just flee to another country and save themselves. There should be no safe haven for people who would commit cybercrime, and so this is our recommendation. And for the next problem, it was the standardization of the contours of privacy rights. So through our discussions, we saw that in some countries, it is seen that certain terms such as inappropriate, national security, these are not defined well. And this has been exploited by countries again and again to infringe on the privacy of their citizens. So it is very important that you define what does inappropriate mean. That the government defines what national security is, what is the limit of national security. It is not that every time I come to you and I say it is national security, I will take away your jaga. This is national security, I will take away your idea. It doesn't work that way in a democracy. So for that, we want to standardize the contours of privacy rights. The panel recommends that the countries make their privacy rights very clear through the proper interpretation through courts and the standardization by the parliament of the limitations and contours of the rights. So before even you claim your right, you know these are your limitations. This is where your right ends and this is where the right of another person starts. So you have your right protected and other citizens also can enjoy their rights. So these are our recommendations. We hope you follow. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think that a lot of you might perceive law differently from listening to a summary. And now that we've heard about political aspect and legal aspect of creative economy, I would like to welcome all of you guys to the last group, Innovation in Creative Economy. Please